How I Stopped Masturbation and Changed My Life Forever. Hello and welcome to this powerful and deeply personal journey I want to share with you today. This is not just another video. This is a life-changing story of how I stopped masturbation and completely transformed my life forever. If you're watching this, you may be struggling with masturbation, feeling trapped in an endless cycle of guilt, shame, and frustration. You've probably tried to stop many times but always seem to fall back into it. I know exactly how that feels because I've been there. In this video, I will take you through my entire journey, how it started, how it got worse, the devastating effects it had on my mental, physical, and spiritual life, and finally the exact steps I took to break free permanently. And trust me, if I could overcome it, so can you. So sit back, listen carefully, and stay with me till the very end. Because what you're about to hear might just be the turning point in your own life. Let's begin. My early struggles. My struggle with masturbation began at a very young age. Like many people, I was introduced to it accidentally. For me, it was through exposure to explicit materials that I stumbled upon during my teenage years. At first, it felt harmless, a curious habit, something that everybody seemed to do. Society, movies, and even some friends casually joked about it, like it was no big deal. I convinced myself it was normal, even healthy, but as time went on, it became more frequent. What started as once in a while soon turned into daily indulgence. Then multiple times a day, it no longer felt like something I controlled. It felt like it controlled me. I noticed changes in my energy levels. I began to feel exhausted, mentally foggy, socially withdrawn, and filled with guilt every time I engaged in it. But I couldn't stop. I prayed, I promised myself, I set goals, but I kept falling back. My self-esteem plummeted. Every time I failed to stop, I felt worthless. I hated myself. I kept asking, why can't I control this? What's wrong with me? Masturbation was no longer a habit. It had become my secret prison. The negative effects I experienced. Over time, the damage of my addiction became more obvious. Mental effects. I suffered from constant brain fog. My ability to focus, study, or be productive was severely impaired. I was always tired, and I had no motivation. Emotional effects. Guilt, shame, and low self-worth haunted me. I avoided people, avoided eye contact, and lost confidence. Physical effects. I experienced fatigue, loss of strength, and weak immune responses. My body was not operating at its best. Spiritual effects. I felt far from God. Every time I prayed, I felt unworthy. I stopped reading the Bible. I stopped attending church regularly because I felt like a hypocrite. Social effects. My relationships suffered. I avoided deep connections because of my hidden shame. I was afraid of romantic relationships because I thought I was unworthy. I was stuck in a dark place. And if you're watching this, maybe you feel the same way right now. Why masturbation became an addiction. Many people don't realize how masturbation addiction forms. It starts with pleasure. The brain releases dopamine every time you engage in it. The more you do it, the more your brain craves that release. It becomes a cycle. Stress, anxiety, boredom, trigger the craving, leading to masturbation, followed by guilt, then back to stress and craving again. In my case, it became my escape from reality. Whenever I felt stressed, lonely, or anxious, I turned to masturbation for temporary relief. But it was only temporary. The guilt and shame always returned, stronger than before. I had programmed my brain to seek comfort in masturbation. This is how addiction works. It rewires your brain. And the worst part? Nobody was talking about it. The shame made me hide it from everyone. I suffered in silence. The turning point. One night, after another failed attempt to quit, I hit rock bottom. I sat on my bed crying, feeling like a failure. I thought, is this who I want to be for the rest of my life? That night I made a decision, a real decision. Not just a wish, not just another promise, but a serious, determined choice. I told myself, I don't care how many times I fail, but I will not stop fighting until I am free. I started researching. reading books, watching testimonies of people who overcame it, and seeking spiritual guidance. I realized something powerful. The problem wasn't just physical, it was deeply spiritual and mental. I had to heal from the inside out. The practical steps I took to overcome masturbation. Here are the practical steps that finally helped me break free. Accountability. I found a trusted mentor to whom I confessed everything. The power of darkness lies in secrecy. Once I brought it to the light, the hold began to weaken. Daily prayer and fasting. I engaged in serious spiritual warfare. I understood that this was not just a bad habit. It was a spiritual bondage. Avoiding triggers, I blocked explicit websites, deleted tempting apps, and stayed away from content that stimulated lust. Building new habits. I started exercising, reading, and working on my goals. Every time I felt the urge, I would redirect my energy into something productive. Community support. I joined online groups of people who were also quitting. Sharing struggles and victories with others helped me stay strong. Speaking affirmations. Every morning I would declare, I am free from lust, I am pure, I am strong, I have self-control. Counseling and therapy. Professional counseling also helped me uncover deeper emotional wounds that fed the addiction. It wasn't an overnight victory, it was a battle. But every day I became stronger. The role of spirituality and mindset shift. One of the most important keys was renewing my mind spiritually. Romans 12:2 says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. I had to reprogram my thoughts. Not just try harder, but think differently. I began to meditate on scriptures about purity, holiness, and freedom. I read books that strengthened my will. I surrounded myself with positive influences. I cut off relationships and media that tempted me. Spiritually, I surrendered fully to God. I realized I couldn't win this battle in my own strength. The more I depended on God's grace, the more victories I saw. Prayer became my daily fuel. Fasting broke strongholds. Worship lifted my soul out of darkness. I also forgave myself for my past failures. I stopped carrying guilt and started embracing grace. What really happened after I quit? The transformation after quitting was nothing short of amazing. My confidence returned. My energy levels skyrocketed. My mental clarity improved. My relationships deepened. My spiritual life became vibrant again. I felt free. Not perfect, but free. The stronghold that once ruled me was broken. Opportunities opened. My productivity increased. My sense of purpose was restored. Today, I no longer live in shame or fear. I live with passion and confidence. If you are struggling with masturbation right now, let me speak directly to you. 1, you are not alone. Millions struggle with this in silence. 2, you are not hopeless. Freedom is possible, no matter how long you've been trapped. 3, start today. Make a serious decision. Seek help. Bring it into the light. Talk to someone. 5, depend on God. His grace is sufficient. Don't be discouraged by failures. It's okay to fall, but get up again. The key is persistence. You are stronger than you think. You can overcome this and experience the joy of true freedom. As I close this video, let me remind you, I once thought I could never break free. I believed I was trapped forever. But today I live free, and you can too. Your life is too valuable to waste on temporary pleasure that leads to long-term pain. You were created for a great purpose. You have gifts, talents, and a destiny waiting for you. Don't let masturbation rob you of your future. Begin your freedom journey today. If this video inspired you, share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe, leave a comment, and stay connected, because I will be sharing more content that empowers you to live in freedom. Remember, you were not created to live in bondage. You were created to live in victory. God bless you.